Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
Welcome to the first installment of the 2023 49ers roster countdown. And it was a 90-minute series last year. This year it's 91. We kind of mixed it up a little bit because the Niners actually have 91 players on their roster this year because they have a roster exemption, the International Player Program, and that's who we're going to start out with today, who I'm just going to be really, really honest up front. This dude he's turned into a locker room favorite, a coach's favorite, a player's favorite. Not really much of an impact on the field. We'll get through all of that, but that's Alfredo Gutierrez, who comes in at player number 91 on this 91-player roster countdown. Shout out to our executive producer, Clayton, on this episode. Did a lot of research and just crushed it. Now, this is the third season of Alfredo Gutierrez being a part of the 49ers. Last year, we had him at number 84. He's fallen back a little bit. The way that we did this is all 5 of our producers ranked 1 through 91, the entire roster. Alfredo Gutierrez came in with a combined score of 448. And that was last place there, so we bumped him there. Offensive lineman, big number 77. He's a big cat. 6'9", 332 pounds, just turned 27 not too long ago, so entering into his third season. Now, he was born in Tijuana, Mexico. He went to Tecnológico de Monterrey, just across the border from the United States, and you know, it's interesting. Grew up playing youth football in Mexico before he moved to the United States. And when he graduated high school, he enrolled in junior college and then went back to Mexico and then joined there, Tecnológico de Monterrey on a full athletic scholarship. Like, this dude can play football. Can he play football at the NFL level? That's a different kind of conversation. Now, he did win the national championship for them in 2019, which is great. And then the International Player Pathway Program, which, you know, what the NFL is doing is they're taking a different division each year and giving them an additional player from a different place. I think Germany was one of the years, and then, you know, they're just picking all these different places where they can highlight and expanding their reach. This is a wonderful thing. Do I think that he is a player that's going to make the 53-man roster? No, I have him at number 91. But the international impact that this makes on players from the areas they're in and the connections that grow from there, paramount, incredible. All positives, no negatives. It's not like he's taking a job from somebody else or anything along those lines. No, this is a positive. And we got to see some of those things last year. Now, if we go back to where he kind of fell in love with football and all those things, his father played football, his brother and cousins as well, and what would happen is, you know, they were so close to the border, the Chargers were the closest program or NFL team from them, so they would go to Chargers game. Now, it was important that when he was interviewed, he said that even though he went to a lot of Chargers games, he never really was a fan of them growing up, and whenever he was a kid, he played running back. It got too big for that too soon. He did say he tried to model his game after LaDainian Tomlinson, which is awesome, being that he eventually became 6'9", 332. But anyway, offensive line, it was very clear that's where he was going to be. And, you know, last year got his very first snaps, his second year in the league. And again, preseason snaps. So to put this into kind of perspective on the playing, he got to play 5 snaps in the game. That's it, in a preseason game. 1 preseason game in 2 years, 5 total snaps. Now, whenever he was asked about that, he said, quote, "Those 4 plays I have are still in my head. I don't want to miss those moments. They are the happiest moments in my life," end quote. Incredible. This was week 2 of 2022 preseason against the Vikings. He played 4 offensive snaps, all run blocking snaps, finished with a 58.9 grade on those 4 plays, and then 1 extra point snap. And probably one of the coolest things is after that, Shanahan rewarded him with one of the game balls of the preseason, which is so cool. And whenever they gave it to him, the entire locker room just went bananas. And, I mean, the main reason for that is, you know, you're talking about somebody that, you know, overcame some obstacles, to say the least. And so he has turned himself into, I mean, he is just a super nice guy. You'll never find anybody say anything bad about him or anything about that. He says, everybody in the locker room is my best friend. And he operates that way. Hard worker, practice squad guy, that just takes a brunt in. He's an extra kind of like, just body out there, but positive, and has just turned into one of those guys that everybody loves on this team. Coaching staff, players, everybody does. Now, last year, probably one of my favorite moments as a 49ers fan, content, whatever. I don't know what to call myself. The game in Mexico. Blew out the Cardinals, was incredible. And again, if you want to know how much this team values Alfredo, they let him and Fred Warner lead the team out of the tunnel at Studio Azteca. And he wasn't even suited out. But this is the impact that he has had on this team. And it was awesome because I was there with Wayne, where we were sitting was exact opposite of the tunnel, so we could see it clear as day when they were coming out, and it was just so cool. The fans there went crazy anyway, but just seeing, Alfredo come out wearing his big old jersey 77, even though he wasn't in pads, it meant a lot to the people there, and I think it meant a lot to him. He's such an awesome guy. And I think he just continues to develop. Don't think that he makes this. You look at the offensive tackle depth, right? Top to bottom, and this is not a guard. He's a tackle and tackle only. Trent Williams, Colton McKivitz, Matt Pryor, Jalen Moore, Nick Zakel, undrafted free agent Joey Fisher. He's got to pass all those guys. And I think that he is firmly way behind all of those guys on the depth chart. But that's okay. This is huge for him. One, the connection. Perhaps he gets into coaching. Perhaps he goes back home and starts a program. Who knows? The impact that this will have long term, that is why we were spending time talking about Alfredo Gutierrez, who's just an amazing human, amazing part of this team, even if it doesn't contribute itself into playing time during the season. But I'm so happy to start with this guy because it sets the stage. Culture. The culture of this team, it's unbelievable. People want to be here. People fight to be here. It's a dream just to be involved with the locker room. And Alfredo Gutierrez is a great dude. Happy to have him. And he's going to finish 91 on our 49ers 2023 roster countdown. And if you haven't yet, we're going to keep doing this all the way down to 1. So keep a lookout for these. It's going to be a lot of fun. Really appreciate it. Good job, Clayton, the executive producer of this show, this edition. And until next time, man. Ooh, this is fun. Number 91. Alfredo Gutierrez.